Hey everyone, Draker here, and welcome to Game 4 of the ESL Finals. This is a best out of 5 series. Tarson is leading by 2. It's 2-1 at the moment, as Lucifron was able to pull off a great victory in Game 3, which is what he needed to stay in this game. So let's see what he can do on Game 4 here, if he can keep himself still into the match and hopefully push it to Game 5. As we do have a Terran versus Terran matchup here for anyone who's just tuning in and didn't watch any of the other games yet. Um, so we are on, was it Lost Temple? Yes, we are in Lost Temple for Game 4, as we do have relatively close spawns again for flying, as well as the walking. Actually, it's still pretty close, so we probably will see some great dropship action from either players, as, I mean, that's real close. So we definitely are going to probably see some dropship action, as Lucifron did use that to his advantage in Game 2, but he just didn't use it enough, as he did try keeping the pressure on with constant dropships behind the mineral line, but he didn't realize that Tarson did have his natural expansion already on the way, so it didn't help him at all attacking Tarson's main mineral line, as it was actually basically fully mined out at the meantime. Anyways, we do have our refinery as well as barracks on the way for both players, as they are sending their scouts out. Tarson is going to be able to scout right away where Lucifron is, as Lucifron is going to find out a little late where his opponent's base is. Now, won't be first game we did see a proxy racks from Lucifron. I mean, he still lost that game, but I won't be surprised if we see anything from him this game, as he's going to try pulling out a second win to stay in this match. Now, we do have orbital commands are on the way on cue from both players, fairly normal, as any other Terran starting build orders. Now, we do have Marines also on the way for both players. Now, like I was saying, I won't be surprised if we see them both go right into a factory, right into a starport, because if they can mass Marines, get a reactor on the barracks, as we do have only a tech lab actually on the way from Lucifron, but if we had a reactor on the barracks, they could mass a bunch of Marines and get a couple medic Vics out and do a quick drop into the base, and it could be a good game there. But we probably obviously are not going to see that, as we do have a tech lab on the way for Lucifron. Now, we do have a second refinery is on the way for Lucifron, as well as a factory for Tarson. We do have the Marines was able to kill Lucifron's SCV there before it can get a scout into Tarson's base. So Tarson, great play there with those Marines, as we do have Tarson doing a nice little steroid dance SCV there in the corner of Lucifron's base. But Lucifron at least does know where his opponent base is now. We do have a few Marines over here in the corner from Tarson, keeping an eye on any units that could come by here. We do have a factory did just finish for Tarson, and now he is working on his starport, as the factory is just about to finish for Lucifron. So we actually might see some dropship action from Tarson, as we are having a tech lab on the way for Tarson. So we're probably going to see that not Marauder. Wow. Siege tanks, as well as siege tech, which is what is exactly winning for Tarson. Tarson is just basically massing Marines and siege tanks, and it has won him the first two games, and he probably could have won Game 3 if Lucifron didn't. It was just one great play there by Lucifron, where he scouted out a bunch of misplaced siege tanks from Tarson, realized all his heavy defense units were pretty far on his third base, so he decided to take his whole entire army and drop it into the main, and that's what he did, and it cost Tarson the match there, as we do have a bunker now full from Tarson, so it looks like we are going to see some sort of turtle build, which seems fairly common for Tarson in this tournament. Now, we do have Cloaking Field on the way for Tarson, as well as a Banshee, so he's looking to go for a Banshee harass, pulling that play out of Lucifron's playbook, as Lucifron was building a bunch of Banshees the first few games for some harass, and Tarson didn't even get one on the field. As we do have a bunch of Marines now still getting massed here from Tarson, and we do have supply depots now going down in the corner to keep an eye on any air units that could come in. Now, we do have the Banshee is now on the field, so we probably should see that get pushed out as soon as that cloak is done, and is just over halfway. Now we do have Marauders and Medivacs on the way for Lucifron, as Lucifron is massing some Marauders, and now he's complaining of lag again. Yeah, if anyone didn't watch Game 3, apparently Tarson was lagging tremendously because there was like there's a bunch of spectators in this match, and that they really need to get some land features in StarCraft 2, because these tournaments with all the spectators, it hurts the players bad. You can't play to your full potential when there's a lot of lag. But it can show how good you are if you're managed to pull a victory in a tournament with a lot of lag. Being able to play through lag can definitely show you you got some balls. Now we do have Tech Lab on the way for Tarson on his factory. So that's going to be... Whoa, we have a drop over here from Lucifron, as he is going to be able to pick off most of these Marines here, as Tarson is forced, not able to pull off all these SCVs to defend against his attack from Lucifron. Now this could actually be a quick, good game here, as Lucifron is microing these units around, but there is a Banshee now on the field, so the Banshee is going to be able to finish off these Marauders. As Lucifron is forced to lift up. I'm surprised there hasn't been a scan going off to kill that Banshee, as he should have enough. No, he does not have enough for a scan, which sucks for Lucifron. That could have been a quick, good game there and gave the win to Lucifron, but he just didn't have enough money for a scan, as he probably should have waited till he had not money, but energy for that scan, as Tarson does have a siege tank now on the field. And with siege tech is on the way. Now we do have another barracks getting built for Tarson, as well as his command center for his natural is just about done now. Looks like we have another drop on the way here from Lucifron on his poor placement here, as he is going to lose this. Is he going to lose? No, he's not going to lose any of these medivacs as he drops those Marauders, but those Marauders are done, and yeah, that was a poor drop there by Lucifron, but he did try. Gotta give him credit, he did try, as Tarson is now just repairing that siege tank that he did almost lose. So we got a good defense structure of units here by Tarson. Now we have another push with some Vikings here from Lucifron. He's trying to keep the pressure and using this close proximity of the bases to his advantage. Now we are going to see these Vikings land, and he is going to kill the supply depot. And it won't supply block Tarson, but it will keep him from seeing this corner, as he is now going to lift top, and I think that, no, he's not going to be able to get a supply, that SCV over in time to repair that supply depot, as he did, Lucifron did lose one Viking there to those Marines. Now we do have a tech lab on the way for Tarson. I think it would be on that barracks, which it is. And we also have more siege tanks on the way. Now we have more Marauders on the way, as well as Medivacs for Lucifron. So we are going to see that constant drop from Lucifron, as Lucifron is now going to pick off this SCV and keep control of that Zelnaga tower for now. Now we do have Lucifron working on his natural expansion at the moment, as this command center is just about done. And we also have another barracks on the way for Lucifron. And we do have Stimpack on the way for Tarson, which is going to benefit him a lot, as he is just going to mass Marines and siege tanks this game, which is probably a good choice, to be honest, as Lucifron is obviously going to keep using air units for some drop-ins, and if he can just mass Marines, he'll be able to pick off a few of those Medivacs, and hopefully they have units in there. Yeah, the scan does go off from Lucifron, scanning the choke point, seeing how the defenses are. So we should be able to see this unit composition that Tarson has. As we do have these Vikings, we're dancing around, scoping around, seeing what's up, using that to scout now. It looks like Lucifron is going to go for some sort of drop here, as he does now take his natural as he transfers a bunch of SCVs. Now we do have another Banshee on the way for Tarson, so it looks like he might be probably building it for some harass, as there is only, there is missile turrets on the field for Lucifron, so that Banshee is going to be kind of pointless unless he uses it for defense. Now we have Lucifron just randomly flying some random Medivac over there, as we do have a drop in front of Tarson's choke. I don't know what he was planning to do here. I think he was trying to take out that natural, but these well-placed siege tanks just destroyed the group of units, just a couple units that Lucifron did lose there, as he is now dropping behind the mineral line of the natural, managed to pick off a few SCVs, great pickup there in time before the Marines and siege tanks came over, and he managed to get away. Now we do have 2 tech labs on the way for Tarson. I think those are going to be on his barracks. As where are they? As they must have just finished. So one of them was for the factory, as well as the other barracks that didn't have anything on. So he just has one barracks with not a reactor or tech lab on there. Now we do have 2 refineries on the way for both teams on their naturals, and we have a huge push going out here from Tarson, and I think this could be it. This could be a good game, as Lucifron has nothing to answer to this. He has only a few units on the field, with 4 Marauders getting built at the moment. I think this is it, as a scan does go off from Tarson, realizes that there's no units to defend, so he is pushing out right now with his handful of siege tanks and a bunch of Marines. I think this is it. This could be a good game. This could, I don't think there's anything Lucifron can do. He only has a few Marauders, as Lucifron is forced to lift top his command center, as the siege did go down, but wasn't able to get anything off, as the Marines are now going to try killing that command center, as the siege tanks do siege, and we're able to pick off 1 Marauder there. And Tarson was not able to get that command center into red, and it looks like he's forcing Lucifron back into his base, which is what he wants. Tarson is keeping him from mining from his natural. A scan does go off from Lucifron, trying to see what's up, seeing what's going on, and now we have Lucifron with a bunch of Vikings and medevacs here with these Marauders. I guess Tarson looked like he was gonna pull out, but now he decided not to, as it looks like he's gonna sit and wait for Lucifron to push out, as he is now rallying some more units. Now we do have a push going out here from Lucifron, and he's not able to reach any of these units from the high ground, so he's forced to pull off to the bottom ground and push out with these Marauders, but he don't know what he's planning on doing, as he is pushing behind the Vespian Gasser here. Now we do have all these SCVs are going to be in the range, as Tarson does push out with these Marauders, as the stim pack does go off with these Marine and Marauders, as these Marauders are able to pick off all those siege tanks. And well played there by Lucifron, able to defend against that attack there, huge attack from Tarson. Now Tarson should have pushed out when he realized that Lucifron only had a handful